What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. It's been a few days. It definitely has been. I hate West Coast road trips because it prevents me from coming on here to talk to you guys about Phillies baseball. And the Phillies definitely have themselves a series down in Arizona. They take 3 of 4. Honestly, in my opinion, I think they should have swept. If not for, the damn bullpen game that happened on Monday, but we'll get into all of that stuff. JT Realmuto gets a cycle. Bryson Stott during this series is showing power. Nick Castellanos remains Nick Castellanos, and basically offensively, everyone did their little part. Whether it's, like I said, JT, Castellanos, Stott, Schwarber with a leadoff home run, Bryce Harper driving in a couple of runs, Alec Bohm coming back from injury and driving in some runs, getting some clutch hits, Brandon Marsh, Cody Clemens almost hitting a go-ahead 2-run shot in the 9th inning in Game 1, but sadly it was just foul. But this series overall, the middle 2 games, pitching-wise, really good. Zack Wheeler, I thought, was solid, and the bullpen finished off the job, but then really, basically, the Phillies scored so many runs, you really only had to use one guy out of the bullpen to finish the job, and that was Ortiz. And then in Game 3, Ranger Suarez was excellent. He was dominant in Game 3. Sadly, he did not record the win, which he deserved to get, if not for Sir Anthony Dominguez allowing a game-tying 3-run home run with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 8th inning, but thankfully the Phillies found a way to respond in extras to get the win with a Nick Castellanos sacrifice fly. Then Jose Alvarado shuts down the door in the bottom of the 10th. Today, offensively, you still put runs on the board, you scored when needed to, but then Aaron Nola does Aaron Nola things that makes you want to really rip your hair out, to where, yes, Kyle Schwarber makes a bad play in the outfield, but then to follow it up, Aaron Nola does not have the backs of his teammates after making a mistake, and then he proceeds to allow a couple of singles in a row, scores a run, and then he allows a game-tying 3-run home run. Actually, it was a go-ahead 3-run home run to give the Diamondbacks the lead, but thankfully the Phillies offense responded the very next inning and they scored 2 runs to take the lead, and thankfully that was the rest of the offense for both teams in the entire ball game. Do you give credit for Aaron Nola for settling down? Yeah, but it's just like, why just that inning? Why do you need to have the blow-up? Why do you have to, when guys get on base, why do you struggle so much? Why do you panic so much when there is a guy on first, a guy on second, anywhere on the base path? Aaron Nola, why do you struggle? Because the very next inning, he strikes out the side. Like it was nothing, like nothing happened. And that's what makes this season from Aaron Nola so goddamn confusing. It's so goddamn frustrating. Because we know what is inside of Aaron Nola can be a really good pitcher. But then he just does the stuff that makes you want to rip your eyeballs out. And it just, single after single after single. He struggles with guys on base. Like if you look at his splits when runners are on in regards to no runners on, it's very telling. And we all knew he struggled when going from the stretch. We all knew that was a thing that he struggled with guys on base. That's nothing new. But it's just all accounted for that he's still struggling with the pitch clock. That I don't understand. You're in June. You've had so many months to get adjusted to this pitch clock, and it feels like after every single Aaron Nola start, something about the pitch clock is being brought up about Aaron Nola. That I just don't get. Now, do you put that to how they prepared this team coming into the year? Yeah, Zack Wheeler had his complaints about the pitch clock in spring training. He's definitely adjusted to it. Yeah, he has his bad starts from time to time, but, Zack Wheeler, when needed to, has been reliable. Ranger Suarez looks perfectly fine with the pitch clock. Taijuan Walker looks perfectly fine with the pitch clock, regardless sometimes he does have his blow-ups. It's not because of the pitch clock, it's because sometimes his command's all over the place. But with Aaron Nola, everything goes back to the pitch clock. Every excuse, it feels like it's going to the pitch clock. I'm sure there have been players around Major League Baseball that don't like the pitch clock, but they're finding ways to adjust to it. And Aaron Nola, for some reason, and just in my opinion, it feels like he refuses, in all of his struggles, especially with runners on, with that pitch clock, and he gets more time. That's the thing. What is it? You get 15 seconds with no runners on with the pitch clock, and then you get 20 seconds. That feels like it should be all the time in the world. And then, you try to exploit it by getting so many new baseballs, on the mound. And you saw that with the Los Angeles Dodgers game, to where Rob Thompson got thrown out, and the umpires weren't having enough of Aaron Nola's shit because he knew he was trying to find a loophole. I'm sure umpires are going to try to crack down on that. So he's trying to find loopholes to avoid the pitch clock, to buy more time, to, take his time and everything like that. It's just, there's so many things that bother me with Aaron Nola right now. I try to defend this guy so much in the past, but it's just, I've had enough of it. He gives you one or two good starts, and then he follows it up. Basically, honestly, this year, he has not shown consistent back-to-back good starts. It's either one really good start, one really bad start, one really good start, two bad starts, one good start, a bad start, a meh start. I would probably consider this more to the bad to meh start. I know, you give him credit for bouncing back and trying to go at least deeper into the game. It still goes to the fact that you blew up in that one inning and you allowed the Diamondbacks to get the lead. That's an issue. So right now, if you're looking at this pitching rotation, Zack Wheeler's your number one, Ranger Suarez is your number two, because Ranger Suarez has been excellent over his past 3-4 starts. He's going at least 6-7 innings, going back to his, that game against the Washington Nationals. Game against the LA Dodgers, he was really good. And this game tonight, I'm sure there was a fourth game mixed in there that I'm forgetting, but still, overall, Ranger Suarez has been very, 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 very good and very fun to watch. And hopefully he continues it. It looks like he's getting better and better as the games go along. And I like seeing that from Ranger. It's really fun to watch Ranger when he is on his game. Fielding, best pitcher fielding in baseball. Ranger can do anything. It feels like it. And hey, the offense woke up basically this entire series. That's why you should have swept. But, the damn bullpen games. Can we stop with the bullpen games? Please. For the love of God. Matt Strahm goes out there for almost 3 innings. He probably had a chance to get through 3 innings without allowing a run, but, he coughs that up. And then, Covey, Marte, everything else. You just can't get a clean inning. You can't get a shutdown inning. And then your offense is coming all over the place to try to score runs, to try to get back to within the game. And then the Cody Clemens things happen. I'm like, Tom McCarthy and the first base umpire saying it was a home run on the field. There was just so many things. There was. But, bullpen games need to stop. Seriously, there's 2 spots in this rotation right now that you can't trust. It's Aaron Nola in the 5th spot in the rotation. I don't know what's going to happen with the 5th spot in the rotation. I need Dave Dombrowski to make some type of move at the deadline, and I'm sure he's going to be going after some type of starting pitching then. Who knows, maybe he also bolsters the bullpen, but the bullpen overall has been a strength for you. Regardless of the bullpen game, I'm talking more about the back end. Craig Kimbrell, Jose Alvarado, Greg Soto. Seranthony Dominguez, though, he's been very, very hit or miss this year. Going into today's ball game, you see Rob Thompson go back to Seranthony against Walker, who hit the game-tying home run yesterday. And I'm thinking to yourself, Rob, are we really trying to go down this path again? But I guess, Seranthony made me shut up at that instance, but it feels like right now Seranthony isn't as dominant as he was last season. It kind of feels like his command's all over the place. To where he's spiking his, sliders, or he's hanging his sliders, or he can't properly locate the fastball. And that was the one thing that was bothering in me in last night's ball game during that at-bat to Walker, to where I know I'm all over the place at this point, but there's so many things to talk about with the series, and I haven't done a recap for any of them just because of the late games. And, these games are ending around midnight, 1 in the morning. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. So that's basically it. God, this goddamn team. But still, during that pitch sequence to Walker, there were, a 2-strike count. You get 2 strikes at swinging at fastballs, and then he tries to go the 3 frickin' sliders in a row. One of them he spiked in the dirt, and another one he hung right over the middle of the plate, didn't do anything at all, and Walker crushed it. So How come we're calling 2 sliders in a row when he obviously showed he couldn't catch up to the fastball? That's just something that I'm looking at right there. But overall, starting pitching-wise, Wheeler, Suarez, good. Bullpen game, bad. They need something up here. It does sound like that Christopher Sanchez might start the game in Oakland this Saturday. I believe that's when the 5th spot in the rotation is coming up next, because there was something down in AAA when they were resetting their pitching rotation and Christopher Sanchez wasn't on the list. So that makes me to believe that he's going to get called up for Saturday's game to make that spot start, and hopefully he gives you 4 or 5 innings there, so you can get some length out of a spot starter at least. But you're going to have Taijuan Walker and Zack Wheeler during that series against the Oakland Athletics, and you should win 2 out of 3. But of course, the series that you're going into Oakland, they're one of the hottest teams in baseball. They're still a bad team, but they've won like 7 of their last 8 games. And then you saw that whole thing in Oakland a couple of days ago with a bunch of the fans there, just constantly chanting, sell the team, because of the whole thing that's been going on with the Las Vegas voting thing for the ballpark for eventually moving to Oakland, eventually moving to Vegas. So those things were passed, so eventually the Athletics are moving. But so that was crazy. But Oakland, they've been hot as of late. Go into Oakland and take care of business. Not going to ask for a sweep. I'm just asking win the series. Because so far, the Phillies have won 10 of their last 12 series. They've won 4 series in a row, going back to the Washington Nationals series last weekend. Won those series against the Nationals, you swept the Tigers, you won the series against the Dodgers, and now you've won 3 out of 4 in Arizona. Honestly, you should have swept. But 3 out of 4, you win the series, that's the most important thing. And now you got to go down to Oakland, well, across to Oakland, actually, in California, depending on, they're in Oakland. Technically, they're going north. I'm all over the place. Like I said, my brain is mush at this point. Going to go to Oakland. You got to win the series. And then you're going to come back home. You get a day off on Monday. Then you play the NL East again with the Braves and the Mets at home. So, get a series win against a bad opponent. And then you're going to come and face a Braves team. Best team in the National League East. It's going to be a tough series. And yet again, the New York Mets, who have been very bad as of late. Ever since they swept you, they've been going on just losing and 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 losing. I believe they won yesterday against the Yankees, but overall they've been losing more than they have not. It's been really bad for the Mets as of late. So maybe they're riding a cold streak. Also, Pete Alonso got injured, so that's definitely a huge loss for their lineup. You get a injured Mets team that is struggling, that is not confident in themselves. Maybe that gives you a chance to finally win a goddamn series against this forsaken New York Mets team. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully it is. But that's the future, and I don't want to go that far. You got the Oakland Athletics this weekend, another late game tomorrow, same time as the previous late games this week, and then you got 2 4 o'clock games, I believe, Saturday and Sunday. So once again, we're probably not going to have a recap tomorrow. We'll start the recaps back up, most likely on Saturday night and Sunday night, whenever that happens. So we'll focus on those when we get there. But let's look at the offense. Let's stop harshing on the negatives of the pitching side. Let's get to the offense, because the offense this week was really good. It was really good. Looking at basically going through every game so far, I'm looking at the 9-8 loss in game 1. Schwarber goes 1 for 4. Turner goes 0 for 4 with a walk. Nick Castellanos 2 for 4. Bryce Harper 1 for 5 with an RBI. JT Realmuto with the cycle, so he's really heating up as of late. He was really, swigging the bat really good down there in Arizona. 4 for 4. He actually did the cycle kind of backwards at this point. He got the home run first, then he got the triple, then he got a single, then he got a double in the 9th inning to seal off the cycle. He had 3 RBIs in the game. Alec Bohm went 2 for 5 with 2 RBI. Josh Harrison went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Bryson Stott in the pinch hit situation went 1 for 2. Sosa went 0 for 3. Guthrie went 0 for 3. Overall, you went 5 for 13 with runners in scoring position. It was just basically your bullpen that was not able to do anything in a bullpen game. Matt Strom, 2 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs. Marte, 2 earned runs. Covey, 2 earned runs. Vasquez, 2 earned runs. Hoffman was the only guy to not allow a run that entire game. Offensively, the rest of the series, you win 15-3 in Game 2 of this series. Zack Wheeler was on the bump, and basically everyone contributed once again. Everyone in this game, it had at least one hit, except for Garrett Stubbs, who was a pinch hitter. Kyle Schwarber leading off the game with a solo shot. He goes 2 for 5. Trey Turner goes 2 for 3 with 2 walks. Nick Castellanos goes 2 for 6 with 3 RBI. Bryce Harper, 2 for 5 with 2 RBI. JT Realmuto, 2 for 4. 3 runs scored in an RBI. Bryson Stott, 3 for 5. I believe he had a home run in this game as well. 2 RBI there. And it was funny, too. The Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup on Tuesday. It was like right after the buzzer went off in the Stanley Cup. You know, the celebration was happening for Vegas, like seriously right as the buzzer hit. Bryson Stott, like a couple of seconds, maybe a couple of minutes later, hit a home run. So like as soon as Vegas won the cup, Stott hits a home run, the Vegas kid. So I'm sure he was definitely very excited about that. I'm sure Bryce was like keeping him posted in the dugout about what was going on with the Golden Knights. Alec Boehm goes 2 for 5 with 2 RBI. Cody Clemens goes 1 for 5. Brandon Marsh goes 2 for 4. 9 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Zack Wheeler, very solid. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts on 101 pitches, and then Ortiz basically finishes the rest of the game. Got roughed up a little bit, but since you had that wide of a margin of a lead, you could waste a little bit of Ortiz in that situation. Yesterday, you win 4-3. Looking at the lineup-wise, Kyle Schwarber, he went 0 for 4 with a walk. Trey Turner, 1 for 4. Nick Castellanos, 1 for 4 with a sac fly in the 10th inning, which basically was the winning run. Bryce Harper goes 0 for 4 last night. JT Realmuto, 1 for 4 with an absolute Titanic's moonshot. 2 RBIs in that game for him. Bryson Stott, 1 for 4. Cody Clemens, 0 for 3. Edmundo Sosa, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Brandon Marsh, 0 for 4. You were 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position last night. So basically, it was a lot of fielders' choices that scored some runs. A lot of, huge mistakes from the Diamondbacks fielding-wise. Some pretty bad fielding from the Diamondbacks this entire series, which worked to your benefit and you took advantage of. So that's good to see. So you didn't hit with runners in scoring position, but you found ways to manufacture runs. JT hits a home run. Nick Castellanos hits a sac fly. Then you had a couple of fielders' choices in the mix. So any way you could win, I'll take it any day of the week. Ranger Suarez, absolutely dominant. 7 innings, 4 hits allowed, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts on 105 pitches. Then Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in and stinks it up, allows the Diamondbacks to tie the game. Gregory Soto gets out of that situation after a walk. Greg Kimbrell dominates in the ninth to get it to extras. And then Jose Alvarado, he allows a walk, but he manages to get the job done regardless. 23 pitches there for the save. That's the second win for the Phillies in this series. And then we go to today. Lineup-wise, Kyle Schwarber goes 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 walks. Trey Turner, 2 for 5 with an RBI. Nick Castellanos, 2 for 5. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4 with an RBI. I believe that was the go-ahead RBI in this game. Bryson Stott with another solo shot in this game. He goes 2 for 5. So Bryson Stott was showing the power this week. And Bryson Stott is getting hot again. He's batting .301 currently, getting that average back above 300. Alec Boehm, 2 for 5. There were a couple of hits for the Phillies today that honestly could have gone out of the ballpark that just died. Alec Boehm had one that just died right at the wall and turned into an out. Brandon Marsh had a situation where it was a double that could have carried out of the ballpark. So there were quite a few of those situations in this series. Cody Clemens goes 1 for 5. Marsh goes 1 for 5 with that double like I mentioned. And Garrett Stubbs goes 1 for 3. Runners in scoring position, you went 3 for 13. Pitching-wise, Aaron Nola, 6 2/3. 6 hits allowed. 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, a home run allowed. So that's, I believe, Aaron Nola's 14th or 15th home run allowed. And that is a home run allowed in the last 10 starts, 10, 11 starts for Aaron Nola. That's not good. That's not good at all. ERA's at 4.66. Gregory Soto finishes off that inning of work. Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in, gets 2 strikeouts. And Craig Kimbrell dominates once again in the 9th, but he also got 3 pitching clock violations, so that was crazy. Definitely got a strikeout to end off the ball game. Actually, no. That was a ground out the window. Like I said, my brain is mush. My brain is mush. Don't pay attention to me. But pay attention to me because I'm also on this video. So, don't judge. Don't judge at all. Like I said, haven't done a recap in the past couple of days because of these stupid late games. So it is what it is. You're back over 500. You are 35-34. You definitely improved that road record a little bit. You're 16-23 now. So, step in the right direction, I guess. And you won a 4-game series against one of the best teams in the National League. They're a first-place team in the NL West. They've been one of the best teams in the NL this entire season. So that's definitely a huge series win for this Phillies team. A huge series win. So it definitely, like right now, yes, this team is definitely taking strides in the right direction. Right now, basically, your only weaknesses are the fifth spot in the rotation and Aaron Nola. That's where I see the weaknesses at. It's those two things. Aaron Nola in the 5th spot in the rotation. I don't know how they solved that 5th spot in the rotation. There's, talks about Andrew Painter. He's starting to do, very tiny bullpen sessions, so I'm not sure how much longer that's going to take for him. I'm not sure if it's going to be until July until we see Painter, until after the All-Star break until we see him. I have no idea. After the trade deadline or whatever it is, I don't know. You still got Griff McGarry down there. Maybe he can come up eventually. I know Christopher Sanchez is most likely starting this week, but he's definitely not going to get it full-time. Bailey Falter is still struggling down there in the minors, too, so I don't know if Bailey Falter is going to get called up anytime soon. So basically, I just don't know what you do. I really don't know. Because you're going to blow out a lot of arms if you keep doing these bullpen games. Because your record in these bullpen games have not been good this year. Have not been good. You can't keep doing it. If you want to be successful for the rest of the season, you need to find a 5th starter. Just a guy that can go in there and give you at least 5-6 innings every outing. Every outing. He doesn't have to have a 2 ERA. Doesn't have to be one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball. He has to be a quality starter, not Dylan Covey. And no more Matt Strom as a spot starter because I don't want to throw his arm out. I just don't. Because he doesn't have the innings on his arm the past couple of seasons. I don't want to blow it out. So many arm injuries in baseball this year. I don't want that to happen to one of our pitchers, even though it already happened to Painter. But that's besides the point. I don't know, man. I don't know. Aaron Nola frustrates me. I have no idea what's going to happen with him come this offseason. I don't see this team trading him because I'm not sure if you do trade him, what that does to the clubhouse and everything like that. I don't think you resign him now in the offseason. He's definitely not earning that contract that he definitely wanted. I'm sure he's regretting not taking the Phillies offer. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens when we get to that situation. But Aaron Nola has just not been good this year. You could say it's bad luck or anything like that. It's just when you're giving up home runs in 10 straight games, 11 straight games, there's an issue. When you're constantly having blow-up innings. And yeah, Aaron Nola would have blow-up innings in the past seasons, but maybe it would be 1 or 2 runs. Every time he has a blow-up inning this year, it's 5 runs. It's 6 runs, 4 runs, 7 runs maybe. Ever since, opening day for him set the tone of what his season was going to be, and he has not figured it out. Yeah, he has a good start from time to time. He had that really good outing against the Tigers, had a really good outing against the Astros. He's had some good outings this year, and I'll give him credit. I'll praise him when he has those good outings. But more times than not this season, he's had bad outings, and he's had outings that make you want to pull your hair out. It's really annoying. I don't know if he ever figures it out this year, because it seems like that pitch clock is just really bothering him. And I don't know how you can fix that. I don't know how you can. This is going to be an entire year-long thing for Nola. Maybe the rest of his career long. Because this pitch clock ain't going anywhere. So, he's going to have to learn how to deal with it and figure it out. But who knows, he might not even be a Philly come next season. So who knows, maybe we won't have to deal with this after this year. Aaron Nolan's the most confusing pitcher in my goddamn lifetime. He really is. He really is. Looking at the upcoming schedule for this Phillies team, they got, like I said, this series with the Oakland Athletics coming up. 3 games there. Taijuan Walker is going to get game 1. Taijuan Walker has been very consistent as of late, so hopefully he can continue that in Oakland. He's going to be going up against J.P. Sears. He is 1-3 with a 4.15 ERA. In his last few outings, definitely has not been roughed up lately. 2 earned runs, 1 earned run, 1 earned run, 1 earned run, 2 earned runs. Definitely doesn't go deep in the ball games, though. 5 innings, 6 innings, 4 2/3, 5 innings. So this Oakland Athletics team, they're riding a hot streak. Go in there and find a way to beat them. Saturday is going to be most likely Christopher Sanchez for 4 or 5 innings, going up against James Caprillion. He is 2-6 with a 6.89 ERA. He can get roughed up. 3 earned runs, 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 1 earned run in his last few outings. And then it's going to be Zack Wheeler going up against Hogan Harris. That's most likely a bullpen game for the Athletics, because listed right here on ESPN, he is a reliever. But he's been used as a starter lately. 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 6 earned runs. So he's a guy that most likely should get roughed up. This Oakland Athletics team, they're not good. Yes, they're riding a hot streak. Right now, they're not one of the worst teams in baseball history as of this point. They have a better record than the Kansas City Royals. They don't have a better run differential now. They got that run differential down below 200, but it's still 196. Minus 196 run differential. They've lost 2 games in a row so far, so maybe their hot streak is coming to an end. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Maybe it's time. Looking at some of the rest of the teams around baseball, NL East, Braves are obviously still in first place. They are 42-26. Marlins, they are in second place still at 38-31. You are 3 games behind them. They still have their negative 30 run differential. So that just still shows me that whatever they're doing right now is not sustainable. It just isn't. Once their schedule eventually gets harder during the second half of the season, most likely maybe they'll come back down to earth. Phillies are 35-34 in third place. Mets are 32-36. They've lost 2. They are 2-8 in their last 10. So who knows? Maybe they continue to lose. Looking at the NL Central, Pirates are 34-32. They are the only team that is above 500 in that division. Every team in that division is a minus run differential. The Brewers are 34-34. The Reds are 34-35. The Cubs are 30-37. And the Cardinals are 27-42. So the Cardinals continue to be bad. Who knows? I know a lot of people are talking about Paul Goldschmidt to the Phillies recently. I'm not sure. I'm sure you should prioritize pitching at this point. Bryce Harper to first base, and then you can do whatever you want with the lineup to get some guys some much-needed days off from the field. The National League West, the Diamondbacks, who you just beat in the series, are 41-28, first place in the West. Dodgers are 38-30. They are 3-7 in their last 10. Giants are 36-32. Padres are 33-34, so they're getting creeping back above 500 eventually. And the Rockies are 29-41. Looking at the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays, they're still the Tampa Bay Rays. They are 50-22. Orioles are 43-25. The Yankees are 39-30. The Blue Jays are 38-32, and the Red Sox are 34-35. The AL Central is still a terrible division. The Twins are 35-33. The Guardians are 31-36. The White Sox are 30-39. The Tigers are 27-39, and the Royals are the worst team in baseball at 18-50. The American League West, the Rangers still control that division. They are 42-25. The Astros are 39-29. Angels are 38-32. The Mariners are 33-34, and the Athletics are 19-52. So yeah, got a series upcoming against Oakland. Let's find a way to win it. Let's find a way. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But got a series upcoming against a not good opponent. Let's see where it goes. So I think that's going to do it for today, everybody. It was good to be talking to you again, but we're most likely not going to be doing it tomorrow either because it's another late game. Joy. So, most likely, we will be back Saturday night after Saturday's game, And then most likely we'll be getting more consistent from there as we don't have to deal with another West Coast game for a little bit. So that'll be nice. So thank you for joining the streams as always, everybody. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Join the TTP Sports family. You'll have a fun time here. Let's get over 800 subscribers. We are very close to it. Also, don't forget to use the code TTPSports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Thank you.